Hello! Welcome to this week's video. For this week, I will be doing my wrap-up for the month of May. I had a bit of a dismal reading month, but I'm encouraged for June because I've started a few books that I am enjoying really so far very much. But May was a bit of a dud. So we'll start with my hardcover paperbacks because yeah, pretty much two hardcovers and I guess a trade paperback you'd call it, because I am trying to get a dent in that behemoth that goes all the way down to the flow, and it's that's my to be read pile. So a little bit of a dent in it right up there in that empty square. Perspective. Okay, and that empty go up. Yeah, you can see that. So yeah, a little bit of a dent, but we got a way to go. So we'll start with the physical copy books. The one that I did enjoy the most had to be Diana Gabaldon's The Scottish Prisoner. Now, I'm not big into the Lord John books. This book, I am a huge Outlander fan, so because Lord John features with Jamie in this book, this was the one that I had to read. And I have to say that I enjoyed parts of this book. This book is worth it just for the scenes of Jamie with his little baby boy, Willie, alone. Like, just, I not so much into the whole, like, spy plot thing that is, I guess, the main sort of arc of the Lord John books, is that Lord John goes on these, there's these, like, political adventure things and, like, just missions and, like, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was all fine and good, but not what I was here for. I was so here for Jamie and his scenes with little Willie. Just for that alone, this is so worth it. Oh my God, those scenes were so heartwarming and wonderful. Just, yeah, so totally recommend Diana Gabaldon's The Scottish Prisoner if you're an Outlander fan and you wanted more of Jamie with his little boy. Just, oh my God. Yeah, totally recommend it. And then it all sort of went downhill. Because then we had The Power Trip by Jackie Collins. R.I.P. I love me some Jackie Collins, but this book just did not work for me. It's about these famous rich people who they all get invited to go on this rich guy's yacht. And they all, you know, they have their secrets and they have, you get into their lives and that. But the rich guy has made an enemy because he killed the brother of some drug lord guy, and now the brother is determined to get revenge, so he ends up taking the people on the yacht hostage. I never got to the point where they all get on the boat because there was a woman, one of the main characters, the rich guy's girlfriend, Bianca, who was just so unlikable. Like, she did a thing that shouldn't have, like, I don't know, it bothered me so much that I wanted her, I was looking forward to her dying in this hostage situation. I hoped that the guy who took them all hostage would kill her. And it seems like such a small little thing, but okay, so the girl, Bianca, is a model. And she's a huge, you know, like, famous supermodel, whatever. And she's on a plane, I guess, headed towards where they're going to go board the yacht. And she's sitting next to this guy, and this guy is like totally starstruck. And he asks her if she's this, if she's a famous model. She says yes, but she really wants to be just left alone. And then he says that it's like a mistaken identity thing, like he thought that she was this other famous model, and she's so insulted by that she gets up and demands that the flight attendant people, that the flight crew, either move him or like just put him somewhere else so that she doesn't have to talk to him. And that little thing just bothered me so much. It's, again, it seems like such a little thing, but it totally colored my view of this girl, and that you're so bothered by a little person wanting to talk to you, and I'm supposed to, like, you're supposed to be one of the heroines of this book, and I'm supposed to care about you, and like, no, I was looking forward to her getting on the boat and the hostage, the guy who takes them all hostage, killing her. So I sort of went and I skimmed towards the end of it to see like what, and then there was like there's this other part where there's this girl who's the senator's wife, but he's a real asshole, and it sort of like hinted that maybe the was he a cop? There's this other guy that, like, I was kind of hoping that the two of them would get together, or was he a photographer? But anyway, yeah. So I was hoping they would get together. So I'm skimming to the back to see if Bianca is dead, because if she dies, then I'll keep reading. But she doesn't die. And if these two end up getting together, the senator's wife and this photographer guy. And it looks like they have like a bit of a romance thing, but then at the end, they don't end up together. Like, they might end up together in the future, but she decides that, like, she doesn't want a relationship, and she, like, no. If I'm going to be invested, then I want my romance. I want my romance, and I want my happy ending. It's just that I didn't like the majority of any of these characters. So the only one that I think I liked was the photographer dude. And I would have liked the senator's wife if they'd actually like ended up together. So that it didn't work for me, and no. Bianca didn't die, so that was disappointing. So yeah, but she did not end up with the rich guy at the end of it. So at least that. But yeah, no, it just didn't. Nah, this one was a DNF for me. Next, this one was disappointing because I wanted to like it. We have J.R. Ward's The Bourbon Kings, because the setup was so like up my alley, melodramatic, soapy, crazy sauce. But I didn't. And even like the romance component of like Lane and Lizzie was like the rich, or not, she was the employee. She was part of the servants who lived in this house run by this very wealthy family who is in Bourbon, the Bourbon Kings, who they made bourbon. And even like their romance, I don't know, it just felt like I can't explain it, except that it didn't feel it just wasn't strong enough. I felt like. It felt like a sort of paint by numbers version of a torrid, forbidden love kind of thing, and I, pretty much everyone kind of around them. There were so many characters. There were so many characters, and every time a new character was introduced, you'd have to go like through like their entire like she explained their entire life story, and like Edward was apparently like kidnapped. One of the Lane's brother was apparently kidnapped and just was horribly tortured, and he was really the only one I found interesting. And even like he was like not very likable, but you could understand why he was not very likable because of the things that had happened to him. Um, and everyone, I didn't like these people. And I'd seen like reviews and stuff where like other people's complaints were pretty much similar. It was just, who were you going to root for in this story? Like, the sister, Virginia, Jin, she was horrible and weird and had a daughter, but she said she loved the daughter, like, even though she would like talk like so like horribly about not really caring about her daughter, give the impression that she didn't care about her daughter and all this, and then at the end of like the long reaming paragraphs of how the daughter was like an inconvenient sort of thing in her life, she talked about like how she was a good mother because she understood that the daughter didn't like her either. Just what? So like I'd see all these reviews about people talking about how they hated this book and how they didn't like any of the characters, and I was thinking like, oh, it's J.R. Ward, so of course I'm gonna love it, and they're just wrong, because usually I kind of go with like the same kind of thing with like critics. If critics hate something, I'm more than likely gonna love it. So, but unfortunately, in this case, I'm gonna have to agree with the other reviewers who said all the people in this book suck. It was just disappointing because the plot was so like, oh, what's the word? I can't words right now. Had such potential. And it's all like, it's my thing. I love my crazy sauce melodrama. But this one just did not. So that was the paperbacks. The Kindle version, that Kindle book that I'm reading, or that I had read, and unfortunately also did not enjoy, was Karina Hale's Nordic King. I just did not DNF'd this one. I just don't think Karina Hale's voice is for me. It's Nanny goes to work for this royal family, and normally that would have totally been my thing, but unfortunately it did not work for me. So I think that's going to be it for me with Karina Hale, because I think I had read another book of hers that I just did not enjoy as well, and I just don't think that her writing voice works for me. The next one was To Have and to Hold by Heidi Renee Mason, and I DNF'd this one too. I think it was the same sort of thing. It didn't grab me, and it was pretty. I found, how far did I get into it? Yeah, 3 chapters in, and I just found that it was just too slow. I don't know. It didn't work for me, unfortunately. Was pretty cover though, but just no. Uh, so that's for the Kindle ones that I read. Um, Audible, unfortunately, was also a dud for me. Like I tell you, this month just did not work. This month of May just did not. Was because a lot of men respect Menace by J.M. Darhauer. And I got, what chapter did I get to? I got up to chapter 12. And honestly, the only reason I got to chapter 12 was because I love the narrators. The narrators, I just were the same narrators for Jessica Clare's Hitman series. Iggy Toma and Kasha Kensington. I love these two narrating together. I don't know what it is, just their voices just work. And just Menace by J.M. Darhauer just did not work for me. I think it was just because I found it just like really slow. And it's this girl and she gets kidnapped, I guess, by her father who's some kind of criminal, and the father kills the mother, and then the daughter is like raised in this criminal life, and the guy Lorenzo is also a criminal, but I guess they're like enemy organizations, and just you get to see the daughter like when she's older, and there's something like mysterious about like her and like why she's like still in that life. You know what she's like. Is she a stripper? Is she a hooker? I'm not sure, because she's there, but then she talks about how she's not a hooker, but yet she's having sex with this cop for money or for information, like, and but then like she's with the guys at the club, and I'm not sure if she's having sex with them. I think she's having sex with them, and or she's just like dancing for them. It's not clear. Um, and there's this like the thing with like her and the cop. It's left so like it felt like they're really trying to drag out the mystery of, you know, like what she's doing there and why she's with the guy, why she's having sex with this cop who's like trying to help her find information on something, but we don't know what. And it just felt like dragging out this big mystery for like, just why is she there? Why is she having sex with this dude? You know, like what is the big secret thing that she, yeah, like, I don't know. It didn't work for me, and it just felt like they were like really trying to drag out the mystery. Lorenzo, I kind of felt like we were supposed to like him, but when the heroine like picks his pocket, she robs people apparently. And then the hero Lorenzo is going on about how when he finds her, he's gonna kill her, and it's not gonna be hard for him because he's killed before, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, really? Like, it's one thing, and he's talking about like graphically about how he's gonna like squeeze the life out of her, and every once in a while, when they're like in scenes and like she makes him mad or something, like he's talking about how he's thinking about how he would kill her and like dismember her body, and like just, okay, here's the thing. If you're gonna write a criminal, the only, like, I'm all about, you know, like mafia romances and that kind of stuff. But the hero, he can be damaged, he can be dark, but not not to the point where he's talking about killing like innocent people. Like, you want your criminals, your criminal hero, to only be killing other criminals. Like, and picking your pocket is not really justification for wanting to kill a woman and talking about like dismembering her body and talking about how the fact that you have killed women before, like, I, no, just no. Did not work for me. I'm sorry. Not even the narrators who I love could keep me reading that one. And that's disappointing because usually, you know, the mafia type romance, I love them. I love them. I write them. And just, yeah, that just didn't work for me. Like, if you're going to have a hero, a dark hero, he can be like a mafia guy, but he's only supposed to be killing like other criminals. Like, yeah, so that just did not work for me, unfortunately. Audible, I haven't started my new one yet, but I think I have picked it. I don't think I've downloaded it yet, but I think it's going to be Penny Jordan's Scandal. Scandals or Scandal, and sort of like, again, Penny Jordan. I've never read read one of her books in audiobook. I've read like the Harlequin Penny Jordans, which I have a few of hers on my keeper shelf. But yeah, she does the melodramatic, crazy sauce, just wonderful, wonderful author who sadly is no longer with us. So yeah, that's what I got going in Audible. In Kindle, let's go back to my library. Go back to my library. In Kindle, I am currently reading Roseanne Bittner's Outlaw Hearts. Now, I adored Roseanne Bittner's Thunder on the Plains, which I have on my keeper shelf. I loved that book so much, and I'm about 200 pages in of Outlaw Hearts, and I'm so loving it. I'm loving it so much. It's so good. My faith is restored. My faith in my reading for this month is looking very optimistic. And for my paperback, I have started, and I'm about 50 pages in, Titans by Layla Meacham. Now, and I'm enjoying it very much so far. And Layla Meacham, or Layla, depending on how you pronounce that, E-I, wrote one of my favorite books of all time, Roses. Oh, that book. I loved that book so much, and that's on the keeper shelf as well. So I definitely wanted to get another one of hers. So Titans is my nighttime read. So I'm looking forward to finishing that. Hopefully I will finish that by the end of this month and have that for you for my June wrap-up. And yeah, so I think that's it for this week's video. Currently reading Outlaw Hearts by Roseanne Bittner, Titans by Layla Meacham, and on Audible I will be starting Penny Jordan's Scandals. So that's going to be it for this week's video. Let me know if you read any of the books that I unfortunately DNF'd. How did you enjoy them? Did you agree with the reasons that I didn't like them? Or that they didn't work for me? And just, yeah, just let me know what you're reading. and I will follow you guys, or follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!